Alrighty, folks, third installment of the infamous Andrea tapes. I had to shut my shutters because the sun was literally coming in so bright you couldn't even see me. It was just solid white. So I had to close my shutters. And anyway, this is the third one. This is called Doing the Dirty Laundry. Now, there is allegedly more of Andrea out there, but the trolls for some reason will not publish it. And I think the reason they won't publish the rest of it is because there is incriminating evidence that would literally make the trolls criminals, and they don't want to put that out there, so they're not going to put that out there. I mean, why incriminate themselves, right, guys? But I believe the reason that they're not releasing the rest of Andrea's conversation is because Andrea probably incriminates them somehow. And I mean, you know, if all it is talking shit about Vaughn, they would have put it out by now, right? So obviously there's something else to it. There's some sort of incriminating evidence in there that they don't want you to hear, or they would have posted that shit long before now. Anyway, this is the last one called Doing the Dirty Laundry, so let's get into it.
Well, here's the thing. And the first thing we need to do is we need to understand the environment and the condition of the home that these children your kids are living in. Because that's going to be important in regards to getting them back. So can you talk to us about what kind of, right now, that the kids are in? Are they in sanitary, clean, healthy, safe environment?
Well, not really. Like, he would make me, like, almost like, do it all. The only thing he'd do is, like, take out the garbage, and on occasion he'd sweep the floor.
That's not true. I've done my share of the laundry. That is totally not true. In fact, and I was actually going to bring this up a little later in the tape, but I might as well bring it up now. There was times when Andrea literally would refuse to do anything, and me and my mother would get together and get a bunch of relatives over here to help me to actually square away the house for her. She had let it go so bad that we would, and you know, now you're saying, oh, well, you're talking about this since she's left. No. This was a regular occurrence with us, with Andrea, because Andrea would literally shut down and refuse to do anything. She would literally lay in the bed and refuse to do anything. And we would have, me and my mother would get together, okay, let's get so-and-so to help us, and we would get some people over here to literally help us get the house squared away, because Andrea would let it go so bad that it would be unlivable. And this was multiple occasions that we did this. Multiple occasions. Okay, so let me be clear on this. Andrea is the one that left this house as a pigsty on numerous occasions. She would not keep the house clean. She would not keep the laundry caught up. She would not take care of the children. She would literally shut down, and I and my compatriots, I'll call them, would have to come in and literally square this house and the kids away for her because she would refuse to do it. Okay, now obviously now that I've got the house squared away, it's easy peasy to keep up, right? But see, the thing of it is, she would buy all these clothes. We had a place that I called Friendship. I don't know the actual name of it, but I call it Friendship. And she would go there, and she would literally come out with big garbage bags full of clothing. And her promise to me is, oh, well, I'm going to go through them, and what I don't want, I'll give back to Friendship, or I'll sell in a yard sale, blah, blah, blah. Well, that never happened, and the clothes just kept piling up. It got so bad, folks, that I literally could not walk through my house. Literally. Okay, and I would actually have to call in the troops to help me get this house squared away again. And my own relatives would be there like, Andrea, you know, he can't do it all. He's 50 years old. You're going to have to help him. I can't do this, and I can't do that, and blah, 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 blah. You know, and it was crazy. You know, she literally would shut down and refuse to do anything. And again, what's happening? What's happening on that Facebook? What's happening on that iPod Touch? They're talking in her ear. Andrea, you don't need to do nothing for them. You don't need to do nothing for them. They're scum. They're horrible. They're louses. You don't need to do nothing for them. You need to just concern yourself. You know, don't do any housework. You're not a slave. That's the angle they would get her. They'd say, oh, well, you're being a slave, Andrea. Don't do nothing. Don't be a slave for them. Don't do nothing. Just lay down and, you know, come up with some excuse and don't do nothing for them. because they're making you out to be a slave, Andrea. And that was just totally untrue. Okay, but she's listening to these people squawk in her ear, telling her what to do, and then she's doing it, and then she's chided by my relatives, she's chided by mother, she's chided by me. You know, everybody's on her case. She's wondering, why is everybody on my case? Why is everybody on my case? Because you listen to fools. And if you listen to fools, what does Black Sabbath say? If you listen to fools, the mob rules, right? What mob? That mob of trolls out there that got her kids taken away via CPS. That's the mob that rules. That's the mob that rules when you listen to fools. Okay, but she did. She listened to fools, and you know, now she ain't got no husband. Now she ain't got no kids. Of course, she may not want the kids or the husband. I don't fucking know. I don't know what's going on in her mind. You know, but we'll get into that later. Anyway, I'm rambling on here. We got to get on with this thing. It's 8 minutes long.
Okay, like he wouldn't have me wash dishes. You know, hardly like do anything. Like I said, on occasion, like, you know, he would jump up and help. But you know, I kept telling him. I said, well, you know, we're partners. We do this together.
Well, together, my ass. She'd lay right in that bed right there, and sometimes even live on a Google Hangout. She'd lay in that bed right there complaining of migraines and backaches and stomach aches and all this shit, and there'd not be a thing wrong with her. I'd take her to the doctor. Doctor says, I can't find nothing wrong. I can't find a thing wrong with her. You know, she's sitting there complaining of all this shit. Nothing wrong with her. Her migraine medicine, I still got her migraine medicine. She never took it. I've still got it. Okay? So, it's all bullshit. She was listening to fools telling her not to do her womanly things. Help take care of the house. Help do the dishes. You know, shit like that. And as for the dishes, well, I just released a video called Dishes, didn't I? Where I did the dishes all by myself. And I've done the dishes before. She's lying. This is a blatant lie. But see, like I said, this is nothing but lies. That's all it is lies. Because at the time, she's angry at me because I exposed her little tryst with her ex-boyfriend, Zachary Barkley. Zach Barkley. Her ex-boyfriend, that she's still in love with it. She's still carrying a flame for him, folks. She's still in love with him. She never loved her husband. She loves Zach Barkley. She loves Zach Barkley. She never loved me, ever. Never. She never loved me. She never loved these children. She's in love with Zach Barkley, her ex-boyfriend. That's a very important, because it's going to, you know, as we go through here. But it's very important you know that. She does not love her husband and never did. She loves Zach Barkley. And she even told that to one of my relatives, so she can't deny it. All right. Well, anyway, let's continue.
Not just me. You know? I'm like, I told him, I asked him, like, straight up.
And again, we know that you were doing the lion's share of it. You know, but just give us a rundown of day to day.
She was doing the lion's share. Did you hear that? He said, we know you're doing the lion's share. That's not true. That's not true, and I have 5 witnesses that it's not true. I was the one doing it. And now remember, at the time I had swollen legs, swollen feet, and a bad back. And I'm doing 90% of the housework because she's laying in the bed doing absolutely nothing. Okay, now keep that in mind, because that's important. It's important to stress the fact that I had swollen legs, swollen feet, and a bad back, and I'm 50 years old, and yet I'm doing the bulk of the stuff around the house. Okay, she wouldn't do it. She would leave piles and piles and piles of clothes in the hallway, in this bedroom here. Well, you guys have even seen yourself that huge pile of clothes that she left. Huge pile of clothes. I had to clear up a spot just to lay on the bed. It was that bad. A huge pile of clothes in the living room. Huge pile of clothes in the hallway. Huge pile of clothes in the 2 bedrooms for the kids. You literally could not walk through this house. Clothes, books, toys, all manner of other stuff. And you literally could not walk through it. It was that bad. Anyway.
What it's like living with him in that truck.
Well, we would take, like, shifts the day and, like, night to watch the kids, because every now and then they'd like to get up and run, like, the halls, you know, because sometimes they couldn't sleep and they thought it was playtime, you know. So, like, sometimes, like, I would watch them during the day and he would watch them at night, or we would switch.
So it sounds like you guys were almost living separate lives.
exactly. And
Now, see, that is a trick. So you guys were almost living separate lives. No, we were not. We were still in the same building. We still saw each other on second shift, and in fact, we shared second shift together. Okay? But see, that's how he worded it. He worded it in such a way so that it would spur her to say more. You know, it's leading the witness. It's putting you in a gotcha type scenario where she's forced to say something she may not even necessarily agree with. But see, he set it up in such a way to where she has to respond in a certain way. You get it? Okay? So you guys were almost living like separate lives. You know? What a load of shit. We were not. We were in the same building. We weren't living separate lives. We shared second shift, so we were not living separate lives. That's a total fucking lie. But see, he said that to plant a seed in her mind. You get it? He planted a seed in her mind. Now let's listen to what she says.
I don't. I have no idea why.
Yeah. See, her mind knows that we weren't living separate lives, but he planted that seed in, and so it totally confused her. Because she didn't know how to respond. Because we weren't living separate lives. But he planted that seed in there at just the right moment. And her mind didn't know how to answer. She didn't know how to react to that. See? This is psychological warfare, folks. This is what this is. This is psychological warfare. Okay? Where you manipulate someone to say things or to do things that they normally would not do or say. Okay? So he planted that seed in there. You guys are living separate lives. And see, you notice she was struggling to come up with an answer because it's not true. We weren't living separate lives. You get it? All right, let's go on.
Is that something that you wanted to do, or was that his idea?
Like, we had both agreed, to do the shifts, but like at the same time, I'd always try, to get us to do stuff, together, and half the time, he would just flat out refuse. I wanted to. It was like that sometimes. Like sometimes I'd be so exhausted that I would ask him to change that, and then he would start with me and be like, "No, you change it,"
On a daily basis, and like I said, you've already established that you do most of the work. It's a hard job. You got 3 kids.
It is.
It's a very hard job.
It is.
Give me.
See, there he reinforces again. You do all the work, Andrea. You do all the work, Andrea. You do all the work, Andrea. Even though it wasn't true, he's reinforcing that point into her head. He's literally drilling it into her head. You're doing all the work, Andrea. You're the slave, Andrea. You got to get out of there, Andrea. See, that's how they do it. That's how you manipulate somebody. You plant that seed in their mind that, oh, Andrea, you're doing all the work. You got to get out of there. You're being a slave. They're using you as a slave. When it totally was not the truth. Totally not the truth at all.
Just give me a basic rundown of how clean or how unclean he is in a typical day.
Well, bath-wise, very unclean.
If you had to take a wild guess, how many baths do you say he takes a month? Actual baths where he's in the
I have not seen him at all. No, he claims he does. I have not seen him. Since we've been married, I have not hardly ever seen him.
That's not true. Remember, the sponge baths and the shifts were at the most a year before. At the most a year. Before that, we were taking showers. We were taking baths. Now, admittedly, I would take my bath while she was asleep. She'd take her shower while I was asleep. I never saw her taking showers either. I never saw her taking baths either. Why? Because I'd be asleep. And she would be awake. She would do that, and then vice versa. So neither one of us ever saw the other taking a shower or a bath. Okay? But do you see me making a hate video saying, oh, I never saw Andrea taking a shower or a bath? No, you don't. You know why? Because I figured she did it while I was sleeping. Which she probably did. But I'm sure not going to go out here and talk to a bunch of trolls about it, But I never assumed she wasn't taking any baths. I just assumed she was doing it while I was sleeping. And she probably was. Just like I was doing it while she was asleep. But see, she shouldn't have reached out to the trolls. That was the worst damn thing she could have ever done. Because she's buried herself No child custody, no visitation, no nothing. She's not going to get nothing out of this. When the judge learns that she has told my eldest daughter that she was never coming back, she's not going to get visitation, guys. She's just not. No way in hell. All right, anyway, let's continue.
He's literally never gotten in the bathtub since you've been there.
Like, there's like maybe one like or two times I would beg him to take a shower with me, just you know.
Just to get him in.
Yeah, beg.
And again, this is important for
Let me stop it right there. One of my favorite places to have sex is in the shower. Okay? Are we all clear on that shit? One of my favorite places to have sex is in the shower. Okay, so this bullshit that she had to beg me to take a shower with her never happened. Sorry, never happened. In fact, we did it in this bathroom right here behind me on numerous occasions. On the toilet, in the shower, on the sink. You know, so this is a blatant lie, isn't it? Now, why is she doing these blatant lies like this? I don't know. I haven't got a clue, man. But yeah, that toilet right there saw a lot of use. Okay, let's just say. And it ain't for its designed use either. Let's just put it that way, all right? But yeah, it's blatant lies. Why? I don't know. I don't know. I guess because they had been planning these. Now, remember, the trolls have been talking to her probably for a good year prior to her leaving. Okay, so they've had plenty of time to put into her head, Andrew, you're being used. Andrew, he's a deadbeat. Andrea, he ain't going to get a job. Andrea ain't going to amount to anything. You need to get out of there, Andrea. He's dangerous. And, you know, planting those seeds in her mind over and over and over again. And what did Joseph Goebbels say? Joseph Goebbels said that if you plant a seed long enough, if you tell a lie long enough and big enough, people will begin to believe it. And that's exactly what they did to Andrea. They kept lying to her and lying to her and lying to her, and eventually she actually started believing this shit. All right, let's continue.
So we have the story. Did he have odors? I mean, did you, like, I mean, and I,
Yeah. He wouldn't even put on deodorant half the time. He wouldn't have to put on deodorant unless he was going to, unless he was, you know, going somewhere. But even half the time he wouldn't even do that.
All right, I do have a slight odor because I'm a carnivore. I eat a lot of meat, and if you'll Google that, you'll find that us meat eaters do tend to have a slight odor. But it's not, I mean, it's not, oh my God, you know, it's not one of them things. It's just, you know, it is a slight, there is a slight odor there because I eat a lot of meat. I'm a carnivore mostly. Very few veggies for me. But, you know, but that, so yeah, that it's true that I have a slight odor, but is it to the point of being, you know, overwhelming or where I need to, you know, use lots of underarm deodorant or whatever? No, it's not. In fact, it's quite common. But anyway, let's continue.
so it's kind of hard to be close to someone who is repellent like that.
Yeah.
Let me.
Now see, did you hear what he said? He said, so it's hard to be close to somebody. See, he's already planting a seed in her mind that she needs to get away from me. You know, she needs to separate from me. Okay, see that? He's planting that seed in her mind again, reinforcing. He's reinforcing, actually. He's not planting, he's reinforcing. Because they've done told her to leave, she's done gone. Okay, so but he still keeps reinforcing that. You know, separate, stay away, stay away, stay away, stay away. It's the words that he's using. He's manipulating her. You know, reinforcing that point that she needs to stay away. Let's continue.
How often did you do laundry? How often was it?
All the time.
So he didn't do his own laundry.
No, I had to do.
How often did you do that?
Like, I admit, like, there's been, like, some days where, like, I didn't because I was trying to do other stuff. You know, I was trying to watch kids, I was trying.
Well, you did it every day.
Yeah.
Now again, the reason she was constantly doing laundry is because she would come back from friendship with 2 big garbage bags, at least 2 big garbage bags full of clothes, with nowhere to put them except in the floor, because we literally had no place to put them. I mean, this is a single wide trailer. We've only got 3 bedrooms. And so there literally is no place to put all of the clothes that she kept bringing home and bringing home and bringing home. Clothes, books, toys, knickknacks. I mean, just oodles and oodles of stuff. And we just literally had no room. The garage out here is full of clothes and knickknacks and books and toys and stuff that she had brought from Friendship. And you know, and her mom actually assisted her in that. You know, but see, her mom believed her when she said she was going to sort through it and get rid of what she didn't want. But she never got rid of anything. That's the thing. That's the problem. Andrea would never get rid of anything. She kept everything. Okay? She was a borderline hoarder. And maybe her mom is too. I don't know. I don't know about her mom. Her mom kept everything squared away while she was here, though. But anyway, the point is that she never would get rid of anything. She never would put anything in storage, so that we could walk through our house. I mean, I'm not kidding, folks. I know I've said this a million times, but it's true. I literally could not walk through my house. It got that bad. All right, let's continue.
Yeah, we had a washer and dryer. Yeah, I've seen them actually do that. I've actually seen them do that. But they're you know, so young, they don't know that.
Right, well, they're too little to know, but they're playing around his soiled underwear.
But they never, I haven't really, like, seen them touch it, but I've seen them, you know, step on it, you know.
Well, that's what we're...
Okay, see, now they're leading her into, oh, well, you know, it's a contaminated environment. It's a contaminated environment. Soiled underwear. The kids are going to get into the contaminated environment. The kids are going to get into the soiled underwear. They're going to get sick. They're going to die. You got to get them out of there, Andrew. You got to get yourself a, you know, constant reinforcing of shit that they've already put in her head. They've already put this in her head. So now they're just reinforcing it over and over and over again.
Yeah, there's skid marks.
See, now she's even agreeing with him. Now she's even at the point where she's agreeing with him. All right. Sight unseen, but she's agreeing with him.
I kept asking about it, he's like, well, it's a guy thing.
Yes, it's called farts. Farts that ain't exactly farts. They happen. Okay? It's a fact of life. You know?
It's internal substances manifesting through shockwave platforms, so that's a clear indication of a huge problem. Yes, I think it's a good thing that you got out there. It's not a guy thing. It's not a guy thing.
See, now they're saying that, oh, it's not a guy thing. It is a guy thing. You know, guys sometimes fart, and they're not exactly a fart. They're called, in fact, they're called a wet fart. Is what they're called. Guys have them. It's normal. Okay, especially when you're my age, 50. You know, if you got age on you, it's normal to have a wet fart every now and then. It's not always, but it's every. But see, what they're trying to do, they're trying to make it out, and Andrew's even now making it out. Like, you know, the underwear is soiled all the time. It's just, you know, every day is, you know, soiled every day. And that's not true. It's not true. But see, they're reinforcing these things into her mind.
That's not, that's
It's what?
You know, that's a sign of, some people have psychosis sometimes.
Okay, now, do you hear what he said? He said that's a sign of psychosis. How in the hell does wet farts have anything to do with a mental issue? None. It has nothing to do. It has nothing to do with mental health at all. Nothing. But see, he's planted that seed in her mind. Oh my gosh, he's a mental patient, Andrea. He's a mental patient because he has soiled underwear. He's a mental patient, Andrea. See, planting that seed in her mind over and over and over and over and over again. Okay, it's no wonder she left me. She's a fucking basket case. All this shit that they're putting in her head, she's a fucking basket case by now.
Oh my God. Those sort of problems, so they manifest in various different ways often. And that is one of the ways. So when you start to see the signs and the sort of the discontent for that sort of things, if he doesn't care, then the lack of wanting to participate could be a sign of
see, and that oh my God you hear is actually her, but it's being muffled. Okay, so the more he talks about this psychosis, the more he talks about it, she's going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. You know, he's reinforcing the fact that I'm a mental patient and that she's got to get away from me. All right, let's continue.
serious deterioration of mental health.
Yeah, I felt like And now after hearing,
eventually it all comes out.
And see, and now hear what she said. She said, and now hearing what you guys have said. Okay, see, they've successfully planted that thought in her mind that soiled underwear is a mental problem. It's a mental issue, that I'm psychotic, that I'm dangerous. Okay, remember, he said psychosis. Well, what is psychosis? Psychotic. That's somebody that's psychotic. That's somebody that's deranged. Somebody that's going to kill you. Okay, and so now she's equating soiled underwear, which doesn't even happen all the time, with psychosis, with somebody that's psychotic, with somebody that's going to lash out and kill you. Let's continue.
Or the other side, sometimes it can be physical violence, sometimes it can
See, physical violence. Did you hear that? Physical violence. See, he's reinforcing that fact. He's dangerous, Andrew. He's dangerous, Andrew. He's dangerous. Why? Now, why is he doing this after she's already left? The reason he's doing this after she's already left is because he doesn't want her coming back to me. He does not want her coming back. These guys don't want her reconciling with her husband. So what they're doing is they're sitting there reinforcing all this psychosis and all this danger. You're in danger, Andrew. You're in danger, Andrew. They're doing that so that she won't reconcile with her husband. Because now that they've successfully got her to leave, they want her to destroy her marriage. They want the marriage to be destroyed. They don't want her reconciling with her husband or even with her children. That comes later. But they don't want her reconciling with her husband. Because if they reconcile with her husband, they failed. Their whole premise from day one was to get her away from her husband, was to destroy their marriage. Okay? Because they hate me, and they hate her, and they wanted to destroy our marriage. Okay, so now they've got her out of the house. Now they've got to reinforce in her mind that James is dangerous, and that you can't go back to him. You can't go back to him. Okay, so they're literally reinforcing that in her mind. Let's continue.
skid marks. I mean, it just depends.
Skid marks. Oh my god.
No, that's mistake.
Yeah, so see, now they've reinforced, now they've got it in her head that skid marks and dirty underwear is a psychotic event, a dangerous event, somebody that would make somebody go mad and go crazy and do something to her.
Well, that's, and again, this may, it's important, I mean, when you would do laundry, did you notice, like, excessive dirty spots?
Yeah.
If you didn't go into detail, just give us a day of doing his laundry.
Like, when I would see, like, on there, I'm just, like, ew, gross.
Right.
And so I wouldn't even want to touch it, half the time. I just throw it in.
Okay, now let me stop right there. But she has dirty pads and dirty underwear, but I don't think it's gross. I don't worry about it. I just pick it up and toss it in. I don't worry about it. What about her soiled pads? Hello ladies. What about her soiled pads? What about her soiled underwear? She's got soiled underwear too. It might not be skid marks, but it's almost as bad. Okay, but do you hear me bitching about that? No. Alright, anyway, let's continue.
Right, so his underwear was so soiled that you didn't even want to touch it.
Yeah. And, oh my god, the odor.
Right, and make sure that you tell the authorities. You also make sure you go over that with them. They will know that if you have it, so that will,
My daughter's back there singing. Just ignore her.
Yeah. And get this. When the day I was thinking about leaving. Like I said, I had stayed up all night because I was, crying hysterically.
Again, that's not true. She was not crying at all, folks. She had just cybersexed with 3 men. Okay, and I'd went on a Google Hangout that night with Brett Keane. She still was not crying. She was still cybering with him, even when I was on Brett Keane's live hangout, folks. Okay? Even while I was on Brett Keane's live hangout, she was still cybersexing those 3 men on Valentine's Day. And then when I got done with the Brett Keane hangout, I went to lay down here. She wanted to crawl into bed with me. I said, no you're not. You just had sex with 3 strange men, as far as I'm concerned. You go sleep on the couch. Now, she did not cry, not one tear. And she even agreed with me that she had had cybersex with these men. And so she went and slept on the couch. But she didn't cry. There was no crying going on. That's bullshit. That's a goddamn lie. Anyway, let's continue.
and he made me wait on the couch.
See?
Before I left down. Like, he didn't even want to sleep in the same bed with me.
That's right. Okay, that's the end of the video. And at least she did admit it. But yeah, that's true. You're having sex with strange men, Andrea. I mean, holy shit, man. What was she expecting, guys? Was she expecting to sleep with me after she had cyber sex with 3 strange men that I didn't even know? My God, what a bunch of crap, What a bunch of crap. But anyway, that concludes my rebuttal of all this shit. As you can tell, it's nothing but lies, innuendo, hyperbole. But the key I wanted you to see is how they were manipulating her. Because they don't want her to come back to her husband. Because if she comes back to their husband, everything they've done has been in vain. They have plotted and schemed this shit for years. Well, ever since she come here. Remember, Kenny KPZ's video, Dear Von Helton and Andrea, where he was telling Andrea, you got to get out of there. You got to leave your husband. You got to leave your husband. He emphasized it over and over and over again. Andrea, get the hell away from that man. He's no good for you, Andrea. He's no good for you. Why? Because they hate me, folks. They wanted to destroy my marriage because they hate me. They don't like me. And so they literally manipulated my wife into leaving her husband. And it should be a crime. Unfortunately, it's not a crime, but it should be a crime. Now, there is this thing called alienation of affection. Kentucky does not have it, but the states that some of these trolls live in might have it. And so what I would have to do then is go to their state, their respective state, and if they have it, then use that against them in their state. But, one thing is for sure. A crime has been committed here, in my opinion. Someone or a group of someones has literally plotted to destroy my marriage and my family. And there is no forgiveness for that. I'm sorry. There is no forgiveness for that in this life or in the life to come, in my humble opinion. Okay? But this is a travesty of justice. And every one of these trolls that were involved, these YouTube trolls that were involved, and even YouTube and Google, hello, and even the county, even Clay County also. There's subtle implications here for everybody. Nobody's clean in this mess. Nobody. Okay? Everybody has a little piece of this pie. Alright? But this is a travesty of justice. It should have never fucking happened. It should have never happened. And Andrea herself said later on in private messages that the cyber sex wouldn't probably not have happened if I had either turned off the internet or stopped doing the Google Hangouts. But see, nobody told me that. Nobody come to me and said, hey, turn off the Google Hangout, I want to talk to you. Turn off the call Gerard and turn off the internet. Because if she had, I would have done it. I would have turned it off. All right. Anyway, that's the end of the released tapes. If the bunch of cowards decide to release anything else, then I'll do a rebuttal to it too. But they're not going to, because I believe any other things that she's done is probably going to incriminate them. That's why they haven't posted it. Because, I mean, if all it is more stuff of her talking crap about me, they would have posted it by now. Okay, so there's obviously something in there that's incriminating that they don't want to release. Okay, and my daughter is hollering for me, so that's going to conclude this third one. Y'all have a pleasant day and a better tomorrow. See ya.